Hey, this is Dave at houseparents.com. In this video, we're going to show you how to use one of these small portable propane heaters to help thaw out your frozen water pipes if your utilities come from your garage. To help you try to diagnose where your freeze might be located. This house is built on a slab, and when they're on a slab, you usually have all these kinds of things in some kind of a closet or located in your garage. And right now we're dealing with temperatures in the teens, and they're getting ready to go down to below zero for the regular temperature. And as a result, these pipes become exposed to extraordinary cold if your garage is not heated, and this garage isn't. And so we got an issue, and I'll show you. This is how you know you have a problem: when you wake up in the morning and you go to use the water and nothing happens. When it's winter and it's really cold like that and there's no water coming out, you got to address the source, or where are the pipes coldest. And for this house, we're going to start looking at the garage. And so if you want to double check, you can try another faucet. Same thing. You try this faucet, it doesn't work. So now you know you don't have water coming into the house. So you either didn't pay your water bill, or if it's really cold, that might be the problem with frozen water pipes. All right, so first things first, what we want to try to do is heat up these pipes. I can feel them on my hand, and they're really cold, and that's not a surprise. Maybe a bigger concern is where they go into that wall, because on the other side of that wall is outside. And so they could be frozen, all the way back here. And so what we'll do is we're going to see if we can heat this up and see what that does for our water situation. And it may take a while. If the freeze is here, it'll go pretty quick. If the freeze is beyond this into that wall, that may be a little bit more of a challenge. But you got to at least start somewhere and see if we can get these things warmed up. Metal will carry that heat some distance, so that's helpful. So let's get this heated up. What we're going to use for this task is it's called Mr. Heater or Big Buddy, and it's meant for small heating tasks. It won't heat a whole garage, but it can directly heat like these pipes and what we're going to use it for. It'll do real well on that. This has a cage over a heating element, and it operates under propane tanks, and we use these little 1 pound propane tanks, and there's actually 2 of them. There's a side compartment here, and all you have to do is take your 1 pound cylinder and screw it in. And that's it. Same on both sides. So now we just got to light it. Right, so on the top here you have your off. The knob is in the off position. We're going to do it to pilot. You depress it, turn it, and there you go. There it lights. That's the pilot light. Then you can let up. Sometimes that takes several times before it gets lit. If that didn't light the first time, you just go back and keep going like this and holding it. Go back again, hold it till it finally does light. Once the pilot light's lit, you can let off, and then we'll just move the dial to low to get it started. And there you can see basically it's doing one side. So it's an actual flame that's lit. The propane comes out against that element there, and it's lit. And then if we move it to high, and there's high, and that'll be both sides. Right, and so that right now you can feel some heat coming from that. It's not blazing, but it's definitely very warm. It's enough to do the job that we want it to do. Now that this is lit, we're just going to go ahead and turn it around and put it back here by these pipes. Right, when I picked it up and moved it, it turned off. So just restart the process. Light the pilot. There we go. And now it's back to working. So that's a good safety feature. When it moves, it turns off. And so we've got it by these pipes here, and now we pray that this is the solution. I am worried about that pipe going into that wall, but we can't get to that right now. But we can heat this up enough, maybe some of the heat will carry through the pipe into the wall. But we'll just give this a try and see if this helps. If you have frozen pipes, this is the perfect place to start if your house is on a slab. One way or another, we're going to find out if this is the solution to the problem. And it shouldn't take super long. If the freeze is in this area, it shouldn't take 5 or 10 minutes for us to find out if we've found the source of the problem. The reason you want to go ahead and deal with this is if you leave it long enough, the ice inside this can actually burst the copper pipe. And we've worked on a house before that had that very problem where basically all the plumbing in the whole entire house froze and burst, throughout it and had to be completely replaced. Hopefully here we've gotten to the issue before there's any real damage. And so now we're just going to let this heat up. We'll see what happens. You've got to be careful with this. You can see that heating element is red hot. And so you want to make sure there's no combustibles around. You got to be really careful with things like this, that you're letting off carbon monoxide. So that's one of those things that you just need to be aware of. So use with caution. All right, so we've been doing this for about 15 minutes, 30 minutes. The pipes themselves right here are perfectly warm, probably 70, 80 degrees. And in spite of this garage not being heated. So the heater has done a really good job of warming this up, but we still have no water. So then now the problem is, where does that pipe go? And that's all exterior wall. So we got to find another avenue. Okay, so right now we're going to still try to use heat, but we got to get into that cavity. So I cut away that drywall. We had pictures of where all the plumbing was, and so we're going to try to pump some heat into this cavity and see if that helps, because so far warming this pipe up didn't do the trick. We put the aluminum foil against the water heater just to kind of deflect the heat back, because the water heater was absorbing, the side of the water heater was absorbing a lot of that heat, and this way it reflects it back onto the pipes. All right, so we've been putting air through there, and that did the trick. We finally got a flow of water going. So that's by opening up that wall. And this was just doing a trickle, and now it's going better too. So we're definitely going to keep these running. We'll do both hot and cold. This pipe wasn't frozen, but somewhere here or there or in between there, that was part of the issue. And it was really just a matter of getting hot air into the spaces where those pipes are. And thankfully we had a diagram in this house. We had pictures of it while it was being constructed, and we knew where to go to try to find the majority of the supply pipes. If you ever have an issue where you need some heat on a pipe like this Mr. Heater, they make all kinds of different products. This one's just a little one for small things like this. But I hope this video helps. Get anything out of it, give us a thumbs up. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time.